My beloved, do you think it's an accident that you're hearing my voice right now? No. Heaven planned this moment long before you took your first breath. Here on Holy Voices, we share the whispers of eternity, the messages that change hearts and awaken destinies. If your soul is ready, stay with me, because what you're about to hear might be the very word your spirit has been waiting for. Your life is about to reveal something important and secret. Don't try to skip this, please. The way a parent whispers to their child in the middle of the night when danger is imminent but love is stronger is how I'm telling you this. Heaven does not weep in vain. Michael was unable to remain silent after reading what was written in the scroll of your fate. He is now leaning over you and saying, my beloved, if you skip this, you may never understand why your path has been blocked, why your prayers felt unanswered, why your heart carried that heaviness. You weren't picked at random. Rather, your name was inscribed on the golden walls of eternity both before and after your birth. Heaven declares that the hour has come. However, I want to take a moment to tell you something really important. It's hardly a coincidence if reading this makes you feel even a little fervent. Heaven is calling. Your soul is telling you to stay, pay attention, and follow the voice of God that is calling you at that moment. Your miracle is waiting in the very next breath of this communication, so don't miss this link. Michael is shaky when he speaks. My child, I am crying because the enemy tried to shut your eyes, to make you skip this, so you wouldn't see what God is going to give you. But you are stronger, you're awake now, and once you open fully, nothing in this world can take what is meant for you, he says. You have to realize that this is a unique and sacred moment that is wrapped in urgency like lightning about to strike. God doesn't send angels in desperation unless something extraordinary is about to happen. What you do now will determine your future, your relationships, your blessings, and your peace. Michael then pleads with you once more, don't skip. Remain. Your soul is already trembling because heaven has just leaned closer to say something you cannot ignore. Let every word wash over you like divine rain because it contains the precise key your spirit has been pleading for. Heaven says, do not run, despite Archangel Michael's fervent weeping. His tears are not just tears, they are rivers of warning, bearing the weight of what is going to happen in your life. Michael stoops down in front of you and speaks in a tremulous voice, saying, do not skip because inside this very message is the shield you have been praying for. You must understand that darkness has been circling your name and heaven could no longer remain silent. If you leave now, my child, you will walk into darkness blindfolded. However, if you stay and absorb every word, you will see the invisible and your future won't be stolen. You did not stumble here. You were led, selected, and hand-picked to hear this at this precise hour. And let me take a moment to tell you this. If you feel your heart tugging, if you sense that fire inside, don't ignore it. That is why Michael cried. That is why heaven forced this message onto your path. Michael repeats, my beloved, the scroll of your destiny is unrolling right now. The enemy wanted you distracted, but God wants you awakened. That is not imagination. That is your miracle knocking. Subscribe to this divine flow of messages. Stay connected to heaven's words because your blessing lives in the very next lines. And something urgent is written on it. It's something the enemy has worked hard to hide from you. I sobbed for that reason. I pleaded with heaven to let you have this because of this. Don't try to skip this moment, please. It is too sacred. You are not like the others, which is why you have been fighting so hard. You have questioned why you have been carrying more of the burden. But heaven says, enough. The time for wandering in the dark is over. Michael is standing with a sword of light, cutting through lies, exposing betrayals, and opening the gate of your miracle. This is why the storms kept circling and why the people you trusted turned against you. You are chosen, and chosen ones are always tested before they are crowned. My beloved, my child of eternal promise, Your spirit already senses that something is stirring in heaven. Archangel Michael has cried. Only if you allow these words to pour into your soul like healing oil. Every line you read now is a seed, and that seed is not empty. It is carrying your answered prayer, your breakthrough, and your protection. Do not skip, because skipping is like leaving your miracle unopened at the door. He is trying to warn you, to wake you up before something happens around you. He begged for this message to reach you, because if you ignore it, you might never see what God is protecting you from. Michael says in his trembling voice, "My beloved, I am crying because time is short." It was not a small cry, but a desperate one that shook the golden gates of heaven itself. Behind you, darkness has been scheming and secretly penning lies. And the truth will elude you if you look away from this moment. Don't allow that to occur. Don't allow distraction to give the enemy the advantage. Remain with me. Asterisk. This is not a straightforward message. It is not a random occurrence. I must take a moment to tell you that every word here is a doorway into what has been hidden. Every sentence is a key to unlock your unanswered questions, and it is no accident that you are here reading these very lines right now. Heaven moved mountains, shifted clocks, and bent destiny just so you would not miss this revelation. Heaven is bearing down on you, and God is whispering an asterisk, "Don't leave," if you feel a burning in your chest and your pulse is pounding as you read this. Avoid skipping. Remain. Asterisk. Don't forget to sign up for this wonderful stream. Because your miracle won't happen tomorrow, stay in touch. It's here. Now is the time. And as you go on, it's getting higher. Michael leans in and wipes away his tears. You have been enduring storms that you never deserved, my darling. Others have not been able to see the suffering you have carried. And why me, you kept asking. It has nothing to do with your curse. It's because you were selected. And before blessings, chosen souls constantly draw conflict. But now I'm here. And I have raised my sword of light for you. Asterisk. Gain a thorough understanding of this. Heaven doesn't issue warnings without performing miracles. There is more to Michael's frantic cries than just danger. It has to do with deliverance as well. Even as you read, a burden is being lifted. They're fixing something that broke. We're returning something that was stolen. And it all depends on your choice to remain, pay attention, and be completely open right now. You can't afford to turn away, my darling. Each line represents a thread in the tapestry of your fate. If you omit one, the design seems unfinished. But if you stick around, you'll see that your life's tapestry is being rewoven with hues you never thought possible. With eagerness, heaven bends close to you, my chosen one, my darling. The frantic scream of Archangel Michael is not an echo. Your soul is being shaken by a thunderclap. You are not weak, which is why he is crying. You are strong, which is why he is crying. And God won't let you overlook something that's hidden. Asterisk. You've asked me numerous times why I feel like something is approaching. Why am I feeling restless? Asterisk. And the reason is this. Because your destiny's gates are shaking. And you can miss what was intended for you if you don't pay attention. Michael's voice breaks as he leans forward. Danger. Your name is inscribed in flames on the scroll of victory, but there are hands attempting to erase it, so I pleaded with heaven to send this, my child. There is not much time, so I cried. Your protection, your miracle, and your freedom are contained within these words, so please don't miss this opportunity. You get it? You didn't find this message by accident. Though they seemed hazy and unattainable, God has been keeping an eye on you and sending you signs, whispers, and dreams. This communication was thrust into your path for that reason. It's not a coincidence. The design is amazing. It's time to reveal the struggle you've been fighting in quiet, the uncertainty in your heart, and the unsolved questions. And once more, I want to remind you to pay attention to your spirit if you feel it tugging, your chest feeling heavy, or your heart pounding. Anxiety is not that. It's no accident. This word is confirmed by God touching you. Keep in touch. Remain awake. Join your soul in listening to the voice of heaven. Avoid being duped by the adversary into omitting the sentence that contains your breakthrough. Asterisk. Beloved. Your enemies smiled at you but plotted behind you, Michael adds, wiping away his tears. The reason you have been feeling heavy lately is not because God has abandoned you. Rather, it is because I have witnessed it and God has commanded me to reveal it. The truth is coming out and nothing can stop it. They laughed in your presence but whispered lies in your absence. You must not ignore this message. Each line carries a fragment of your freedom, and each word is a sword that cuts away what was sent to bind you. Stay, read, and receive. For this is not merely a message. It is an encounter, and my dear, you have been sensing it for days. He was doing this because he was getting ready to remove what was false and expose what was fake in order to replace it with something unbreakable. Heaven is pressing down on you, and that pressure on your heart, that quiet whisper that something is changing, is not your imagination. Archangel Michael is crying fervently because the hour is approaching, and his cry is not weak. Rather, it is strong, urgent, full of divine sorrow and divine authority, and he sees what your eyes cannot yet see. Michael says, quivering, "My child, if you walk away from this moment, the enemy will think he has succeeded. He knows what is coming to your life and is doing everything in his power to warn you before it is too late. However, I will put my sword of light between you and the storm if you stay and listen to everything I have to say. Your blessing will increase and the threat will get weaker. This is no accident. Asterisk, my kid. This is not a random message. It is a divine appointment for you, the very symbol for which you silently yearned. This moment was orchestrated by heaven. Michael's tears are evidence that your name is currently being called in the throne room of heaven. And don't overlook this. Heaven weeps because the enemy is quivering and your destiny is flaming brightly. Pay close attention. The burden of unresolved questions has been bearing down on you. You have experienced betrayal by those who smiled in your face but stabbed you in the dark, and you have felt abandoned by friends. You have prayed to God for the reason behind your gloomy heart. And this is the truth. You weren't punished for being heavy. It was an indication that the truth was approaching, that lies were being exposed, and that something hidden was coming to light. And allow me to take a moment to share this with you. Don't dismiss it if your spirit feels like it's on fire and your pulse is pounding right now. You requested that confirmation. The message will continue until you are delivered, and heaven's hand is on you. Keep in touch. Remain accessible. To ensure that you don't lose the voice that is currently directing you, subscribe to this heavenly flow. Your decision to stay here is what will determine your miracle. Once more, Michael murmurs, "I noticed the trap, dear. The hand that attempted to write against you was visible to me. Behind your back, I witnessed the betrayal being planned. That's the reason I sobbed. But don't be scared. I'm here with God's sword, and no scheme against you will succeed. You have been delayed because of this. Why it felt like blessings were just out of reach. It has nothing to do with you being forgotten. It was because the battlefield was being rearranged by heaven. Your victory is as genuine as the storm. The veil is now being lifted. The truth is coming to light. And there's light coming through. Every word you are reading right now, my love, is a rope of light that is dragging you out of the abyss you were unaware you were falling into. You cut the rope if you stop. However, if you persevere, heaven will elevate you beyond your wildest expectations. Heaven has set this moment up and sealed it with haste, so breathe and stay with me, my darling, my child of promise. And Archangel Michael continues to mourn with a virtuous fire that will not allow your destiny to be taken from you in silence. Behind your name, he has noticed a shadow attempting to move. When you weren't present, he heard someone say something negative about you. He has witnessed fear and delay guarding a gate that was intended for you. And he's crying because it's time to lift the curtain and move on before the next chapter of your life passes without you. Therefore, don't omit a single sentence or breath. Because what you're reading right now isn't ornamental. It's training. It's armor. The object in your hands is a torch. You've been wondering why the air feels different around you. Why did familiar locations start to seem weird? Why did some people's laughing seem hollow even though the words were lovely? Heaven now responds that the change you experienced was not confusion but calibration. Your steps were secretly aligned with a path your feet had never traveled. Subtle sleep is the enemy's favored tactic to let you drift until an opportunity presents itself, which is why Michael sobbed. To allow you to exhale before the door shuts. The Lion of Heaven, however, will not permit it. Not now. Not in your name. For this reason, this message has clinging to you like a living breeze and won't let go. Pay close attention, my kid, because the promise is even more piercing than the threat. Your life is being surrounded by a conversation. The opposition wished to tarnish it by delay, misunderstanding, or false testimony while a decision is being considered and a notice bearing your name is getting ready to travel. However, Michael has been stationed alongside you, with a sword that separates truth from lies. He's cutting what he's trying to wrap around your future as you read on. He's ripping it apart, thread by thread. And the change will be noticeable to you. First as a slight looseness within, then as a clarity that hits your mind like cool water, and last as a powerful silence that assures you that you are safe. As you continue, you will see that heaven has responded to you instantly. Don't allow your emotions to conflict with the miracle that is waiting for you. Because miracles don't usually come with a lot of hoopla. Occasionally, they appear as a statement that won't let you leave. A reminder to call once. An unexpected fortitude to refuse what was once yours. A calm at midnight that calms ancient storms. This is the reason Michael sobbed. Because your next delivery is surgical and final rather than theatrical as you had hoped. Furthermore, the enemy is more afraid of finality than of noise. Skip it, save it, read later, but heaven shouts, he murmurs, and that word is suddenly your lifeline. I'm talking to the part of you that nearly accepted less. The part of you that wondered if the door was permanently closed. Use your spirit's ears to listen to me. There was no denial in the delay. It wasn't rejection that caused the stillness. There was no punishment for the pause. You couldn't see how the rooms were rearranged. Additionally, the tears you shed were not in vain. Rather, they were sacred ink that marked the beginning of a new chapter. Michael then gathered them up. Indeed, gathered them and refilled your bones with strength. So that when the gate opened, you could enter. The gate is opening, dear. You will see the symptoms as soon as you continue reading. Around your new tranquility, those who held you little will get restless. You'll start to receive invitations you never requested from unexpected sources. Because the authority of heaven will sit on your tongue and you will pronounce a simple line that ends a 5-year war in 5 seconds. An old dread will attempt to rise once, maybe twice, and then break like dry bread in your hands. And you will be grateful that you did not miss this line when it occurs. Like a sealed letter from the throne, let me to implant this explicit directive into your heart. Pay attention to the first words you say in the morning for the next several days. Your doors will be choreographed for your mornings. And when you stand up, declare calmly and loudly, I refuse to wait. I give back what is not mine. I get my share. The day will obey you because creation recognizes the voice that knows it is loved, and you, my child, are loved beyond measure. Now, for the warning Michael pressed into my spirit while his face was still warm with tears, there is a pattern that once stole from you, a familiar whisper that appears when you start to accelerate. I walk safe under Michael's sword. A voice that says, you are behind, you are late, you are unworthy. It can take many forms, such as comparison, false guilt, or sudden exhaustion, but it is always the same thief. Today is the day the thief is identified and disarmed, So when you sense it coming, don't bargain or give an explanation. Just stop, place your palm on your chest, and declare, "I am exactly on time," with the authority of a child in their father's home. I've got my steps straight. Since identity is both the lock and the key, and yours is the key to heaven, you will experience the old pressure release as you say, "My oil is reserved for true assignments." You are entering a season where your yes must be pure and your no must be clean, where you do not perform to maintain a false sense of peace, and where you cease explaining your anointing to people who only comprehend cages. Therefore, receive this next section as a personal commissioning, because heaven asked me to place it inside your spirit like fire that will not harm you but will guard you. What is growing inside you now is not small, it is royal, it is heavy, it is the answer to a prayer someone else is praying, and heaven will not allow it to be miscarried by distraction. Thus, Michael stands at that inner room with an unshattered blade, blessing it from a distance when necessary and protecting it. Stay close to this stream of voice and do not lose it. Follow, stay connected. If these words are ringing in your soul like a bell, or if you know that this message is reading you even as you read it, pause here and mark this line like a ribbon in a sacred book because it carries a doorway for you. Because the rest of what is being released for you in the next few days will come to you like coordinates, and when coordinates are missing, journeys become longer than they need to be, but when you keep the map, you save years. I am authorized to speak to your household until the end of the day. Subscribe your attention to Heaven's counsel through these messages. Heaven respects the place where you sleep. Let it be known that your rooms must be free of burdens, that arguments must no longer be heard at your doorposts, that cycles of fear must be replaced by rhythms of praise, that old objects tainted with regret may be released without fanfare, that your table will be the scene of hygienic discussions, and that your bed will rest undisturbed. Additionally, you will find that your dreams start to clear and bring instruction instead of confusion as you take care of your area with simple obedience, such as opening a window, lighting a candle, whispering a psalm, or playing a soft hymn. You will also rise with memory instead of fog. Make the call, respond to the email, read the document slowly, bless your name before you sign, and listen to Michael's trembling yet triumphant voice to calm the part of you that fears the unknown opportunity approaching. Courage is not noise, it is alignment. You don't need to shout to be certain. You need to stand where heaven stands and heaven stands with you. Ask the question you were afraid to ask. If a door appears wide but your spirit tells you it is narrow, trust your spirit because not all narrow paths are empty and not all wide gates lead to gardens. Your provision is already planted, and the ground is reacting to your steps. Because creation knows when a promised one finally shows up at the field that has been assigned to them, it was just waiting for the right weather. Heaven changed the weather for you, and if you listen carefully, you will hear the soil itself celebrating. Therefore, you should focus on your excellence, set boundaries, and sow your kindness in worthy soil, and you will reap quickly because time is bending to obedience in this season. Michael is still crying, but you'll notice that the tears are different now. They're tears of recognition rather than warning. He sees the warrior in you rising, your shoulders squaring, the fog clearing from your mind, and you remembering who you are. Angels celebrate when identity returns. Before this section ends, apply this blessing like oil to your forehead. Take one last holy breath and calmly say, "I remember." Then, observe how your spine regains its dignity, how your eyes find light again, and how your voice finds its proper volume. Not a shout of panic or a whisper of fear, but a steady river of authority. I bless your timing, your discernment, your incoming messages, your outgoing words, your contracts, your conversations, your posture in decision rooms, your sleep at night, your strength during the day, and your hand's ability to let go of what is not yours and grasp what God has sent. I grant that the road behind you will cease to pull, that the road in front of you will begin to sing, and that your name will be honored where it counts and forgotten where it was only used. Now, my darling, keep this flame burning within you, because the page is turning even as you breathe, and you will not be abandoned by your own fate. Because heaven has made a decision for you, and Archangel Michael has taken his place, you will enter the hour that has been calling your name for years if you refuse to ignore the voice that called you today. Let every line you have read stay like a living guard around your day. Let every promise you have received seed itself upon your thoughts. The fact that you are still here and still listening, my darling, is evidence enough that your spirit is aware that this is not a typical moment. Archangel Michael's cries of desperation are not going away. Rather, they are becoming louder within you because heaven will not stop until you are protected. He could not remain silent when he saw the direction your feet were going. Michael continues, every line you read breaks another chain. Every word you allow into your spirit cuts through another lie. He saw a door that appeared open but was painted with deception, a smile that held a hidden blade, and a trap that appeared to be an opportunity. This is why he cried, because the danger was so close. Your miracle is in motion and depends on your willingness to stay awake at this moment. That's why the enemy whispers for you to skip, close, and forget, but don't. My child, the weight you felt in your chest these past few weeks, the odd delays, and the unexpected misunderstandings weren't all at random. As with every crossing, there are forces that attempt to prevent the chosen from entering, but listen to me, the crossing has already been predetermined. They were signs, alarms from heaven, telling you that the old season was ending and the enemy was struggling to hold on to territory that no longer belonged to him. That pull in your spirit, that urgency that won't let you look away, is because heaven is putting the keys that others tried to hide in your hands. The scroll of your destiny is being unsealed, and Michael is waiting to make sure you read it with open eyes. If you don't choose silence over revelation, you won't be stopped. Take this moment seriously. Heaven is calling you higher, asking you to let go of old weights, to let go of the voices that never wanted your growth, to step into the inheritance written in your bloodline. And that is not fear, that is awakening. And take a moment here, my dear, to realize that this is not just a message to console you, but a message to commission you. Michael weeps because he sees the beauty of what is coming, because your suffering has not been in vain, and because he knows that you are stronger than the shadows and that the light is already burning behind you, driving you onward. Hold steady, my love. This is not the end of the message. It is just the beginning of the unveiling. All of your sleepless nights, silent tears, and unanswered prayers have been collected and woven into a crown that will soon be placed on your head, but only if you don't skip, if you keep your eyes open, and if your spirit is prepared. Because of the urgency of this hour, Archangel Michael's cry has not stopped. He has witnessed the turning of the page of your life, and he has seen both the schemes of darkness and the promises of light written there. My beloved, you are still here because your soul knows that this is more than just a stream of words. It is a river flowing from heaven to you. Michael says again, risk, my beloved. Every breath you take while reading this is shifting your atmosphere. Every sentence that enters your spirit is building a shield around your name. The enemy tried to smother your attention, to drown you in distraction, to make you blind to what is unfolding. His tears are both a warning and a celebration because he knows that if you stay awake, your testimony will shake the very walls that try to hold you. Beloved, you have walked through valleys that made no sense, carrying burdens that no one else could see, and even though you felt abandoned and questioned, the truth is now being revealed. Heaven, however, has pressed this word into your hands like a torch. Do not let it fall. Do not skip. Not now, not ever. The time for the unveiling has arrived, but it is not the end of your story. Rather, it is the start of the chapter your enemies never imagined you would live to see. You feel a trembling inside, and you can't help but look away as God prepared the ground beneath your feet by tearing away what couldn't support the weight of your calling. The key to what you prayed for is hidden in the very lines you are reading right now, so do not ignore it or allow the enemy to whisper you away from it. Your soul knows that this is the moment it has been waiting for, the moment heaven planned before you were born. That is not fear, but recognition. As surely as I live, your deliverance is not coming later. It is starting now. Michael wipes his tears and raises his head. Beloved, the curtain is tearing. The secrets that were kept against you are being brought to light. The lies that attempted to hide your name are slipping away. Everything you have cried has been transformed into a weapon against your enemies. Asterisk. Therefore, I tell you, my child, let this word stay with you. Carry it into your mornings and nights. For heaven has spoken, and Archangel Michael has declared it. Your warning has become your release. Your tears have become your crown. Your time has come. Every prayer you believed was lost has been collected like gold dust and poured into your future. Archangel Michael's cry is still heavy in the air, and the river of this word is still flowing, my beloved. He has seen what lies behind the curtain of your days, and he is desperate to make sure you are not caught off guard. His warning is not meant to frighten you, but to protect you, to lift the veil before you step into what's next. My dear, if you could see what I see, you would understand why I wept. Michael continues, I saw the enemy trying to slip into your story quietly, disguising harm as help, delay as destiny, confusion as comfort. His tears are holy fire poured out so that you would know this is not just a casual message. It is a lifeline. Beloved, you may not yet realize that the very pain you carried has been transformed into a pathway. What felt like closed doors were rerouting you toward the gate written in your name. Every disappointment was a redirection. Every delay was a divine pause. I cried because the moment is urgent and your breakthrough is closer than your breath. Michael sobs because he knows your waiting is coming to an end and he doesn't want you to leave at the last minute. I need you to feel this. The weight you've carried, the restless energy, the feeling that you're being watched or misunderstood, all of it was leading up to this moment. Every tear is a seed. And now the harvest is pressing through the soil of your life. Unstoppable. Undeniable. As you read these lines, something is loosening inside you, something ancient is being undone. That is the power of heaven's timing. The enemy has been trying to cloud your vision, but heaven is clearing the sky above your soul. Michael wipes his face, steadies his voice, and declares, Beloved, no plot against you will be successful. No mouth will step forward to condemn you. No covert scheme against your life will succeed. I'm here to uphold God's decree because it is more powerful. Remain awake. Remain in the moment. Your miracle is being written in real time, so don't skip. Danger. Let this reality serve as your compass, my love. You are not too shattered, too forgotten, or too late. You're on time. And my darling, the tears of heaven attest to it. The oil of your destiny is still being poured, which is why heaven has not lifted this message from you. Michael, the archangel, is still standing there, crying. And those tears are a sign of urgency rather than weakness. He has witnessed what was attempted in quiet, what was said against you, and what would happen if you were blind. I hope you get this message, he pleaded, because diversion, rather than force, is the enemy's most effective weapon. You miss the key that was put in your hand if you turn your head or skip. Michael's voice is fiery when he speaks. You have endured storms that were supposed to bury you, but instead they have shown you how strong you are, beloved. You have made it through nights that ought to have broken you, but instead they helped you get ready. Even though your hours are changing now, you must hold on to this word. Each sentence prepares you for the following action. Each line serves as a barrier for your future. Asterisk. Remember the fights you waged while no one was looking, my love. You silently wiped away the tears. The moments when you nearly gave up but managed to continue. Heaven didn't overlook those times. They were documented. Angels are currently watching over you because of them. What was supposed to kill you is now evidence that you can't be stopped. Knowing that your reward is closer than you may imagine, Michael breaks down in tears. You might get the sensation that this word was intended only for you, the weight in your chest, and the tug in your spirit. That isn't creative. That is proof. God himself is urging you to stay awake, my child, with an asterisk. You will only comprehend what I am doing in your life if you follow it word for word, so don't skip any steps. Michael's sword remains firm, but his voice falters. The hand that attempted to stop you is being severed, dear. They're silencing the lies that have been told about you. The concealed truth is being brought to the surface. I wept because, although the anguish you endured was immense, the happiness that lies ahead will surpass it. So, my kid, I tell you to stay awake, stay open, and stay here. The message doesn't end here. Until your heart is filled with the fire of heaven and your spirit is full, it is only another wave in a river that will never cease flowing. Heaven is still hovering around your spirit, my darling, because the message is not yet complete. Michael, the archangel, is still crying. His tears continue to fall like rivers of hope and caution. He is crying because the burden of your fate is heavier than the struggles you faced. And before the enemy tries to cast doubt on you again, he wants you to see it clearly. His cries demonstrate how urgent this situation is. Evidence that the future cannot be postponed. Evidence that your soul has to stay awake until the whole revelation. Michael says it again. Take a chance, dear. There are decisions being made with your name attached, papers being written that will impact your tomorrow, and words being uttered in chambers you cannot see. I'm here to prepare you, even though the adversary believed you wouldn't be. I beg you with my tears. Don't be blind. Heaven is giving you sight, so don't stray. Child of light, the unexplained waves of emotions you couldn't understand, the restless sleep, and the peculiar heaviness you've been feeling lately. They weren't arbitrary. They were signals. They were heaven's method of informing you that your story was changing and that a new chapter was beginning. Don't disregard them. What you perceived as weakness turned out to be spiritual sensitivity. Confusion was actually your spirit seeing glimpses of what was about to happen. And let me remind you again, this is not imagination if your heart is racing and you feel like your spirit is getting closer with each line. That is proof. Heaven is engulfing you. Stay here, says God. Don't jump because your miracle is written with an asterisk. Raising his sword, Michael wipes away his tears and speaks forcefully. The truth that was discussed won't be discussed again, dear. The concealed betrayal will not stay secret. The delay that attempted to hold you back won't last. I wept because I could see how difficult it was for you. However, I also cry now because I know that the triumph is brighter than the darkness and larger than the suffering. You are not forgotten, my darling. You're not running late. You're not lost. Right now, you are exactly where heaven needs you to be. And your fate is sealed in heaven by Michael's tears. Evidence that your breakthrough is already happening and that the message is genuine. Beloved soul, if this message has spoken to your heart, don't let it end here. Click that like button so the light can spread to more people who need hope. Subscribe to Holy Voices so you never miss the next word heaven has for you. And leave a comment below. I read every one, and I pray over them. Remember, faith grows when we share it, so share this message with someone who needs to hear it today. Until we meet again, may God's peace cover you and His voice guide your every step.